All right, I think I might be streaming now. Wouldn't that be weird? Hey, I'm Nathan with the Advanced Age Role Playing Gamers podcast. I'm gonna turn off my monitoring so I can concentrate. There we go. All right. So, what I've got here, what I've got open is Reaper version. I think 715, if I'm not mistaken. I've got episode 13 of our podcast here. Um, this is my project I've used for basically half the season of our Dragonbane campaign. You can see it starts out here with our session 0, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. And I've got we just published 12 week before last, and 13's coming up. Hopefully, I'll have it done by for release on Tuesday. And I've got 14 kind of did some pre work on that, so it's kind of ready to go. I just had a few minutes to do this, so this wasn't a planned stream or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and post it on my socials real quick to see if anybody is interested, and see if I can get some people watching. But yeah, so I'm going to be adding sound effects from the sound effects libraries that I own, and using a product called Krotos Studio. This guy right here. It's super cool, super fun. Sound effects. All right. This is an impromptu thing. I don't have any real agenda, so ask questions if you have some questions. I'll be happy to field those for you. Let me bring up the chat window here, so in case anybody pops in. And one more post here. There we go. Okay. Not expecting anybody to show up, but if you do, thank you so much. That's pretty cool. Why is it? Oh, I need to change something real quick here. Let me change this to display capture. And 2 here. There we go. I'm a total professional here. So let me get rid of that. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to shrink this down. And fit the screen. There we go. All right. So now you should be able to see everything. You couldn't see everything before, but now you can see Krotos Studio here. Fun stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to put that out of the way. And what you're looking at, so I've got episode 13 up. And if there are any issues hearing any of the stuff I'm doing, let me know in the chat. I haven't done this too many times, and some things are a little on the quirky side, so let me know if I can't hear anything. But anyway, so this is what I'm working on right now, episode 13. Right here, I've got all my dialogue tracks. If you can see my friends here, I've got Malcolm, Sean, Tier, Chris, Tony, me, and Tim. Tim was not in this episode, so of course, nothing there. And this right here is my folder track for the dialogue group. So basically, all the dialogue feeds into this one folder track, and I add I don't always use it. I used to use it all the time, but I've been getting better at balancing the loudness of everybody. But I do have this here if I need, in case I need it. It's called Vocal Writer, and basically all the voices kind of go into it, and it kind of keeps everybody around the same volume level. So if you've ever had issues where you've got one of your friends or castmates is super quiet and somebody else is super loud, Vocal Writer will ride that vocal. So here, let me play something real quick here.
It has been here. The old man goes, it has been here.
I turn that
Before
on.
men were here in the misty valley. Only then he looks at you. Well, the elder kin were here only. And Gatchi was here. Even before the Dragon Emperor. Old is she.
So I'm going to whistle sharply and call the Foxy Dune to me.
So you can see that when Malcolm was talking, it was kind of just bouncing up and down around that 0 line, which is where you want it. And when Chris was talking, just then it was reducing the level a little bit to make it around the same target. I've got a target of 15.6, which seems kind of random in this RMS. It's not LUFS, which is when you're talking about leveling for podcast distribution, you're usually targeting LUFS, and LUFS and RMS don't quite match up, but I have other things that kind of get things to where I want them, but I just want them all around the same level. So the actual target number is not super critical as long as it's kind of in the neighborhood. So anyway, so I'm gonna just disable that for now because it's not. I'm really working on the sound effects today. So all these green areas, these green regions. So in Reaper, you have regions and markers. So here's my playhead right here. It's that little triangle there. If I hit M, that creates a marker, and I can edit that and give it a name if I want to, and change the color. So we use that to mark like coughs and things like that. So hold down. I'm on the Windows machine, so if you hold down the Alt key and click on it, it disappears. And I also have for creating regions, I have a task that says an action that says if I press the R key, it creates a region. Regions kind of mark a whole area. So so I've got like a belch marked here and sheep noises marked here. So I can kind of mark an area instead of just like a single event. So I for some scenes I like to have like the sounds, more of an ambiance kind of thing. So it's over a longer time. So this is the approximate time I'm looking for. I'll listen to it before I actually add anything to kind of figure out how much time I actually need, and I'll start filling it up. So I've got in Reaper. You also have a list. It's the region and marker manager, which is right here. So this is everything for all of the like 20 episodes I have in here. If I just scroll all down, and once I complete things, I mark them. I change the color to black, green. I've got a couple different shades, which is some stuff Matt marked and stuff I marked. So my greens here are all just sound effects. Yellows are for music and ambience. Orange is for more editing type stuff, and red is for just cutting stuff out completely. But I can use this to go through and determine what I want to do. So I've got sheep noises here. I've got falling.
Torches go up.
So I could put an effect on Tony's voice to mimic falling.
Torches go up.
All right. Miserable Beast.
I mean,
Echoing belch.
Yes, as you head down the cave, you heard a distant noise. something inhuman and grotesque. But after a while, you begin to realize it could be that belching donkey way back at the entrance of the cave somehow. But anyway,
So I did I did a pretty good belch back here, which I might just steal. So those are my dialogue tracks down here. If I zoom out a bit, I've got 3 different music tracks. I've got some virtual synthesizers, samplers there. This green area, I put like a little green bush picture here for ambience. My Krotos tracks for Krotos Studio, and here I've got this little fireball image here to mark my sound effects tracks, and these are my voice effects tracks. So you can see these are all turned off right now. So I've got different types of voice effects that I've already kind of pre-built. So I've got Dehumanizer here, which is I use sometimes, and so each of these has a different kind of preset for different voice effects, and depending on the needs, so that's really just to save me time. If it's a voice effect I'm going to use over and over again, I'll just keep the plugins on here. Like here's one for to place it around your head, so I'll use this one a lot. So kind of a binaural effect for those that are listening on headphones. But let me go ahead and close that, and let's listen to my first belch here. So these are muted. I didn't actually use these, but these are what I've already done. I've already processed them, but let's listen to that real quick.
I can imagine a large belch from the donkey at this point.
yes, it has belched loudly and seems very disappointed the bucket is empty. It scowls at you all, making it not there being more urine that he can drink.
How long?
So I'm a little loud in there, in my ears. But yeah, if I just solo these 2. So I use 2 elements here. Let's just unselect that. So just a belch that I ran with some processing, a little to change the pitch a little bit lower, and add some a doubling effect. So if I disable those, you'll just hear a belch. And add the little Ultra Boy pitch and a format reduction, or not reduction, change. So it makes it a little bit lower, and then the doubling effect from Snap Peep here. So, and then I added this little fellow here. So it's a clicky mouth. It's used a lot in like video games and stuff like that for different kinds of monsters. And since Miserable Beast is like not exactly a donkey, I like to add little extra sounds in there just to kind of hint at it. Like I really don't expect anybody to actually notice except for me. So, but yeah. And there's a little glaring sound there. Anyway, so that's how that's what the kinds of things I think about. So
Andros and Mura say he's been gone for about a little more than a day now.
So that's where I got that from. And I have the mute item action applied to my C key, so I can mute stuff if I don't want to delete it, and if I want to come back to it later and grab parts of it, I can do that. So if I mute stuff, it goes dark. Unmute, C. All right, anyway, part of my process there. So I've got another belch here, and just to kind of highlight some of this, I've got a is this a different one? Let's see, 3HL. All right, this is the exact same burp.
Bucket is empty.
I don't want to use the same one again. Here.
Scowls at you all.
All right, so I'm going to. There's another belch here, and I've got a different burp that I pulled. So I'm just gonna take that and move it down here. Let's see.
We'll look at miserable beasts. Like, keep an eye on them.
He belches again.
All right, so he belches again.
He belches again.
All right.
He belches again.
All right, but now that sounds normal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back here and grab. So you can take this effects chain here, click and drag it. Let me zoom out a little bit to make that go faster. There we go. Oh no! See, I was trying to get fancy here. So you can click and drag. It's easier when they're closer together, but I'm just gonna take this and copy. Control C and whoop. And wonder if it'll just nope. Shoot. I'll try that again. There we go. So copy and paste it, so it's the exact same thing. And I'm going to take a little bit of this other clicky sound here.
Person, you're a
And I'm kind of fading out. So, all right, so I'm going to just take a little bit of that. Split it, copy that, go over here, drop it there, and let's see how that swoops. And click and drag that effects chain there. All right. I don't want it to be too obvious. It's a little too long, maybe too loud. And maybe shorten it a bit. Yeah, it's too long. So yeah, this is tedious. So. All right, I think that's good. Okay, so that's done. Yeah, so I'm gonna mark that as done. Let me go in here and change the color to black. And that's off my list. Sheep noises. So I've got lots of sheep noises because everybody needs sheep noises. And there's a lot of different ways I can get a hold of those. So just for Reaper's super powerful and I love it. Their little media explorer is a great little search tool for any sounds you have. So I've got my FX bin here where I try to remember to store all the sound effects that I've either made or bought or whatever. So I'm just gonna do is search for sheep and see if I have anything in there. All right, so let's see what kind of sheep noises I need.
With a search that lasts about maybe like an hour and a half, actually, of going up there, you do find two men who are standing amidst a whole bunch of sheep.
Okay.
Uh,
So I need a whole bunch of sheep. So I knew. So like I said, I try to remember. Um, I don't always remember to put stuff in my FX bin. So anyway, so I've got a much longer sheep thing here with a bunch of sheep.
I don't know, but it was partially visible.
Yeah, let's go talk to the perverts in the hills.
All right.
so with a search that lasts about maybe like an hour and a half, actually, of going up there, you do find two men who are standing amidst a whole bunch of sheep. And they appear to be arguing with.
See, I don't need anything loud. So I think I'm going to just get rid of that whole front part there because it's kind of just a little too much there. So
So with a search that lasts about maybe like an hour and a half, actually, of going up there, you do find two men who are standing amidst a whole bunch of sheep. And they appear to be arguing with one another, and have shepherd's crocks out raised in anger. One appears to be quite young. You would say like maybe he just might be 10, and the other one looks quite old, like he might just be 100.
They're probably arguing over.
all right. So let's see. All right.
And they appear to be arguing with one another, and have
All right. So I'm going to sometimes let's see. I have I have a sample library called Free to Use Sounds. I bought like a billion years ago. Let me see if I can find something in there because he does have some voices and stuff like that in there. Let's see. There we go. Nope. You guys probably can't. Can you hear this? I can't remember. No, probably not. All right. Okay, let's see.
And they appear to be arguing with one another, and
Ooh, bats. Bats are good. I need that later. Let's see. So yeah, people crowd. How about if I could find some cool background, people talking noises that might be nice. So I don't have anything there. And I do have a pro sound effects subscription, so I'm going to try that. Is that running? So I might just come back to that. Put a pin in that. Let's see. All right. Well, here it is. All right. So nothing there. Ooh. Yeah, I might just come back to this. All right, not that one. Well, okay, I'm gonna look one more place, and if I don't find anything right away, I'm just gonna come back to that because it's not super important to have background voices there, but I think it'd help. Um, but in the meantime, I'm going to bring over Soundly. Okay, so I've got sheep noises here. You can see it's pretty good. The real life sheep noises. But I do kind of want the sound of hills and things like that. So a little bit of wind. So I'm going to use. So I'm going to look at weather first, and see any of these. Yeah, no. I'm going to go to the ambiences. So there's a forest ambience, countryside. I think this has like cows and stuff in it too, but we don't need the cows. So there's Krotos Studios. A lot of these sounds work by these little pucks. So depending where they are on this like little XY pad is where you get the sounds from. So it's pretty neat. So having it up in the right hand corner there makes the farm animals and the stream like maximum volume and occurrences. But I'm not going to use any farm animals or stream. I'm going to try to make this a little subtle. And so I'm going to stop the recording. And as soon as you hit on one of these presets, it just starts recording. So I'm going to let me see. All right, let's see. Public outdoors. Where that's gonna. So this is like a filter only as a high pass filter, low pass filter. So low pass filter. So when it's all the way off, you get the full signal, and then it starts cutting off the highs. If I filter it down like that, this is pretty neat. You can just do a reverb for park open spaces. Not really seeing any difference there. And then distance. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little distance because I want to make it a little bit muffled because otherwise it could be distracting. All right, so I'm gonna stop this, and I'm gonna start it again. Red caps. Oh. Thanks, Red Caps. I really appreciate it. All right, so basically this is recording a little bit of a loop here. And I can do this while I'm playing, so I can move this to the side and listen to the scene.
With a search that lasts about maybe like an hour and a half, actually, of going up there, you do find two men who are standing amidst a whole
So I can
bunch of sheep.
change the intensity.
When and they appear to be arguing with one another. And have,
Because the wind is like really kind of intense in this.
one appears to be quite young. You would say like maybe he just might be 10, and the other one looks quite old, like he might just be 100.
They're probably arguing over whose turn it's going to be.
It's my turn. Give me my gums back. What?
And they, as you approach the sheep, begin to shift and move. And some large man.
Gotta have
almost
bestiality jokes.
scatter a bit.
So anyway, I just let it run after I kind of putzed around with the levels a little bit. Oop. And then I just dragged the recording onto the timeline here. Now I'll just drag this out of the way. And so I can just cut this in the middle here. Each. And even just hold down the Alt key and scroll which part of the waveform I want to start with. So I'm trying to make like so it's not like an identifiable loop. So I'm just gonna crossfade those a little bit.
Yeah, let's go talk to the perverts in the hills.
So with a search that lasts about maybe like an hour and a half, actually, of going up there, you do find two men who are standing amidst a whole bunch of sheep.
All right.
And they appear to be.
So I think that's work. I'm probably going to lower the volume a little bit here. I'm going to take that. I'm going to glue that to. Let me just a little tiny bit of fade there. And glue these together. And I'll just do another one here. Where? Why is this shorter? Oh, that's right. So I'm just selecting one area. So I'm just going to run that a little bit.
We have questions for you.
The young man seems to be very, very upset. It just sort of looks side, gives me a little side look and goes, "Well, you're not bandits, and you're not shepherds.
We
What
have
do you
questions. This is so rude, I swear. We are looking for a boy that is allegedly taken by bandits. And an
Really?
oracle. And an oracle.
Warwick. His
Was
name
he-
is Warwick.
Was he taken
All right.
by a
So it's wind there, it's in the background, but I don't want it to be too distracting. So I might mess with that level. I'm going to put a pin in that and come back to that later. Sheep sounds. I'm just going to, whoops. I don't need both. Well, I might need both of those. Doesn't hurt.
You, well, the elderkin were here only, and she was here even before the Dragon Emperor. Old is she?
So I'm going to whistle sharply and call the Foxy Dune to me.
Okay. Well, that
And-
does not go well as far as the sheep are concerned.
All right. So remember I cut off that loud sheep in the beginning there. That might be better use for that.
Well, as far as the sheep are concerned.
wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off, rushing and running, trying to catch their sheep. The boy
They're starting to
dashes.
bore me anyway.
The boy does try to get a sling, but he's too busy trying to catch the sheep, so they just end up leaving as their sheep scatter to several directions, and there's cursing and shouting as the fox comes bounding up.
Perfect.
All right.
So, Idun, might you have noticed signs of
All right, so that's good. I think that's fine. And I do have another sheep sound I could throw in there if I want to. Let me double check that. And yeah, I'll throw that guy in there too for some variety.
Well, that does not go well as far as the sheep are concerned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so wait, 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 wait.
Do you have
Make it a little more chaotic here. So
Well, as far as the sheep are concerned. Well, as far as the sheep are concerned.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off, rushing and running.
yeah, need that. I just move this back up here. There we go.
Go well as far as the sheep are concerned.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off, rushing and running, trying to catch their sheep. The boy
they're starting
dashes.
to bore me
The
anyway.
boy does.
All right, and I could do some fun stuff here with my little ambisonic. I don't know if you can hear it, but my wife is clapping, so she's watching soccer. So something good happened. All right. So let's do outdoor street. Actually, I'm just going to glue all these together. Oh, no. Let's see. I'm going to put this on a loop here so you hear what I'm doing. Okay, so one over there. And I'm going to drag this to this guy here. I'm going to put another one over here, maybe a little further away. Another one here, and maybe over here. This is kind of random, but just to kind of give it a little sense of space. All right. Yeah.
That does not go well as far as the sheep are concerned.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off. Well, as far as the sheep are concerned.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off, rushing and running, trying to catch their sheep. The boy
they're starting
dashes.
to bore me anyway.
The boy does try to get asleep.
All right. So anyway, I'm sweating the small stuff here, but I think that's pretty good. Now, do I have? I'm going to take a quick look for maybe some hoof. No. About cow, maybe. No. Nope. That's cowbell. That's a cowbell. Yeah, no, that's not good. Horse. All right, I think I can do something with that. One more. So Yeah, and these actually I should. I'm kind of mixing up my ambience and my FX tracks here, so I'm gonna move stuff around just to get more uh, better. All right. Okay, so this is kind of heavy. This sounds a little heavy for sheep. And that's a little too casual. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I hold down my Alt key and shrinking it a little bit. So I'm going to work on this one first. Okay, that's better. And about this one, how are we doing? Also too casual. All right. And for these, I'm going to use something called, it's a free plugin called Place It from Soundly. They also do an awesome sound library. Or actually, you know what? No, actually, I'm going to go back to the binaural thing real quick and see how that sounds. So I'm going to grab this on here and go back to my street setting. Still sounds very hoarse-y. It doesn't sound like they're walking on grass either. That's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, so I got an idea. So I think I found this is dumb. So I think I found a pace I like here. So I like the pace of them trotting away as the fox gets near. So I have in Krotos Studio, I have footsteps. Let's see. No, 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 no. I need the sound of grass. I should show you what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna put that to a side right now. I go back to Krotos Studio. Let's see. All right. So yeah, this is what you get when you get Nathan all like just randomly thinking of stuff. So, grassy sound. I probably have people walking in grass, but maybe about leaves. So I might try and match the pace of these hooves here and throw some other stuff on top of it. So let me see here. So I'm going to start that and play back. All right, so that's not exact, but I can take that, throw it on here, and I wonder if I can use that instead, if that's close enough.
Go well as far as the sheep are concerned.
wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off, rushing and running, trying to catch their sheep. The boy
They're trying to
dashes.
bore me
The
anyway.
boy does try to get a sling, but he's too busy trying to catch a sheep, so they just end up.
So, yeah, not exact, but you do get some sense of commotion and movement and walking around. So, I mean, this is a dumb podcast, not super important. But anyway, so I think it's good enough.
Well, that does not go well as far as the sheep are concerned.
wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off, rushing and running, trying to catch their sheep.
I am going to do the place it on there just to give it some sense of space. This is a great little free tool. Can't recommend it enough. So there's some outdoor settings. Let me just solo it. You know what? I don't think it needs it. Let me keep it there just in case, but I don't think it needs it.
Well, as far as the sheep are concerned.
wow.
Suddenly, with the scattering, there is the shepherds are off, rushing and running, trying to catch their sheep. The boy
They're trying to bore me
Yes,
anyway.
I'm gonna get lost in the sauce here on that one. Hollow Wind from Cave.
Yeah, I think it's
So yeah, if you're joining us late, just skipping through all the sections where I want to add sound effects or Matt suggested sound effects, I marked with these green regions and gave them a name so I know what I'm thinking about when I start on them. And if I have like a combat scene, what I'll usually do is like Dane uses a bow and arrow most of the time, so I'll just go through and do all of his bow and arrow shots all the way through using like Krotos weaponizer and whatever quiver arrow drawing sounds I have and body fall sounds I have saved up and whooshes and things like that. So I'll just go through and do the same kind of weapon. I'll just go through and do all those, and then all the swords and all the hammers and it's a lot faster that way than going through linearly and doing just everything as they go. I don't think I have a ton of that, so I do have a few of these belches in here, but bats, which I've got lots of bat sounds. Let me bring up my region list here real quick. See if there's anything in here that might be more interesting. Green. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll do the wind sound. So that could be a little challenging. So wind, a lot of times, my wife yelling again. Oh Jesus, must be something good. So, yeah, what do I do with a hollow wind? I've got so much wind stuff. So I use pro sound effects here, and this is a library I bought. So I'm just gonna do wind here. Is there wind? There's not gonna be. Let's see. Huh. I think it doesn't like this 4K screen. Mm-hmm. All right, wind. Where are you, wind? So let's hear Malcolm's description of the wind first.
I mean, I can't see.
And-
Someone will have to carry a torch, but I can follow the scent.
And Brain,
Yeah.
you tracked mini animal and man. This is some sort of humanoid. You're not always sure if it's you don't think it's animal.
Yeah, I think it's some sort of dirty human.
Do we hear any unusual noises coming from the cave?
Just the wind coming from the depths of the earth.
Sorry,
Cold
it beans for
and
lunch.
slightly moist.
I might.
We have no indication that the
Mute my
child was
joke
taken
there.
here, but it seems like a likely place.
Coming from the depths of the earth. Cold and slightly moist.
Cold wind, slightly moist. All right. So what do I got here? Whoop. This actually might be a job for my buddy Krotos Studio again. If I just type in cold in there, and weather, there's a snowstorm. All right, so this might be good for like a baseline. Hopefully you can hear that. I'll turn it up a little bit so maybe you can hear it a little bit better. So I do like that whistling, but not completely sold on it. So I let that run for long enough, I think, and I can just drag that in here.
The wind coming from the depths of the earth. Cold and slightly moist.
We have no indication that the child was taken here, but
But how do I make it? All right, that's not the sound I want. All right. And it's a shame you can't hear my little what I'm auditioning here. So I'm going through the Media Explorer and auditioning, but I don't have it set up to play through. my streaming software, so you can't really hear all this. So sorry if I'm being quiet. Ooh. That's actually pretty cool. Lower the volume here because I think it's a little bit too much.
In the cave.
Just the wind coming from the depths of the earth, cold and slightly moist.
We have no indication that the child was taken here, but it seems like a likely place.
This might be his blood.
We must check it out.
If at the very least, we can ask our questions.
All right, okay. I was just like,
Let's see here.
coming from the depths. Just the wind coming from the depths of the earth, cold and slightly moist.
We have no indication that the child was taken here, but it seems like a likely place.
Yeah, it's a little too. Let me try this.
In the cave.
Just the wind coming from the depths of the earth, cold and slightly moist.
We have no indication that the child was taken here, but it seems like a likely place.
This might be his blood.
We must check it out.
If at the very least, we can ask our questions.
All right, so I'm gonna.
You and I are from.
Likely place.
That's a maybe. I'm probably gonna have some little mood ambience music from one of these guys. I love this little synthesizer. It's great. Let's see if we can find something cool there. Yeah, so there's all these little creepy little sounds in here. Yeah. She's screaming. Yeah, I don't know. Let's listen to it. And
Do we hear any unusual noises coming from the cave?
Just the wind coming from the depths of the earth, cold and slightly moist.
We have no indication that the child was taken here, but it seems like a likely place.
This might be his
it's a little
blood.
too. No, don't like it. Close. What's the bad? Might use that later. All right, that I like. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna. Record that.
Mini animal and man. This is some sort of humanoid. You're not always sure if it's you don't think it's animal.
Yeah, I think it's some sort of dirty human.
Do we hear any unusual noises coming from the cave?
Just the wind coming from the depths of the earth, cold and slightly moist.
We have no indication that the child was taken here, but it seems like a likely place.
This might be his blood.
We must check it out.
If at the very least, we can ask our questions.
Exactly. You and I are of a mind. Shall we venture forth?
I'm all for it.
Yes, let us.
Okay.
Forward you go into darkness.
I'll light a torch. I'll light a.
Oh, that would be useful.
Yeah,
Okay.
we also
say.
light a torch.
Oh, all right, okay. It was just like, and you don't get far.
All right. So that's a good little placeholder, I think. That might make it in there. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to listen to it again.
It's some sort of humanoid. You're not always sure if it's
I think it's some sort of dirty human.
Do we hear any unusual noises coming from the cave?
just the wind coming from the depths of the earth, cold and slightly moist.
We have no indication that the child was taken here, but it seems like a likely place.
This might be his blood.
We must check it out.
All right. So, try that. What else we got? More echoing belch, creepy sounding bats. I got so many bats.
You can hear certain things occasionally, like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
So, am I smelling any other signs of humanoid creatures? You know,
Yes,
like
you do smell that you're able to occasionally. After a while, you lose it, but you pick up the blood trail scent, continuing you further into the darkness.
So I'm thinking about like other than blood, is there like any signs of
No.
people like
Duh.
living?
All right, let's do fake. I have real bats. How about real bats? Real bats are fun. So many bats. Come on. Problem with 5-year-old laptops, they are a little pokey sometimes. Another reason why I love Reaper, because it'll run on a potato. So look at this is from that free library here. So I'm just gonna grab. All these, and I'm just going to throw them in here and just try them all out so you can hear them too. And I've got more batches of these. These are actually, but these are pretty, I think, pretty high quality usually from this guy. Server tracks. All right. Sorry, it's like taking the sweet time, copying everything in here. And by the way, this project is huge. So I've got like videos for like 21 episodes or something, and that is at 2 hours each. I've over probably at like 45 hours of video in one project file, which is crazy and stupid, but it's crazy and stupid. Yeah, it's still importing everything. Sorry for the boringness. But I just figured it's easier to show you if I just put everything in the project and then filter out which ones are good. Mm-hmm. And if you can see these, this is probably pretty small, but you'll see this this format that the WAV files are in. And it's called the UCS format, I think Universal Catalog System or something like that. But it's basically a predetermined format that sound effects editors, sound designers use for storing and distributing files. So if you know what you're looking for, you can just search for this. It's a little small for me. ANIML bat. It's one word. This will find all your bat sounds. Holy shit, this is a lot. Sorry, I didn't think it was going to take this long to pull all these in here. I don't know why it's taking this long to pull all these in here. That's crazy. I'm sorry about that. Mm-hmm. It's doing. What is it doing? Waterfall. All right, now it's actually building the visual peaks. Which takes a little bit too. I'm sorry. What else can I look at while it's doing that? No, nothing, not much else. Let's see what else I have in here. I've got some water splashing. Dog shaking off water. That'd be brains. So DRVR, that's that 3D sound I want. I'm not sure what's in there. Rushing water underneath, so there's like an underground river that's underneath the player characters. So basically, just have to have a rushing water sound and take off the high end, so it sounds like it's coming from behind the floor or a wall. Puff of spores. That's gonna be a fun one too. Cloth cutting sound. So I actually have some cloth behind me that I was going to use to make that instead of trying to find something. All right. Holy crap. So here they all are. Whole bunch of bat sounds. All right.
So I'm
Whoa.
thinking,
All right. So that's not noisy enough there. Let's see. Somebody bumped their mic. Bump. So you can see by the color here that's looks like a mic bump there. Hmm. That's kind of interesting, actually. Hmm. All right. Looks like probably a lot of these are a little too subtle for what I'm looking for. So I'll just get rid of those. So we get rid of all these. And let's see what else I've got. Oh, geez, I've got too many. I was a little overzealous pulling in bat sounds. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute these. Mute that one. Mute that one. Listen to the scene again.
By things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things, occasionally like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
so am I smelling any other signs of?
So that's like way too
humanoid
active.
creatures? You know,
Yes,
like
you-
That's like way, those are like some hyperactive bats there. So I'm going to not use that and look for something less busy.
food or feces or.
Why is that not? I was just.
the blood trail scent continuing further into the darkness.
So I'm thinking about like other than blood, is there like any signs of people like living down here? Are there like sense of like food or feces or urine or any of that other stuff that go along with people living in a cave?
No, that immediately comes to you. If anything, you're a bit surprised at how the cold air blowing through, of how, the best word you can say is ventilated, maybe?
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things, occasionally like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
All right. So I think I'm going to stick with this one and do some stuff to it, maybe. Let's just do it one more time. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. My friendly neighborhood place it here. I wonder if a stairwell sound. Oh, Hmm. There is an actual cave. So I think I'm going to actually, there's something called Explode Multi-Track. I think it's under here. Or not. Where is it? So I'm gonna break all this out because there's something in there that sounds like air conditioning to me. It's probably just like something else, but where the heck is that? Reverse render cuts items. Oh, item processing. There we go. Item processing. I know I'd find it. So it's going to separate all these little tracks. There's, yeah. So I wonder if that's what I'm hearing here. I mean, it's cave wind. I mean, it might be natural. All right. So I think what I'm hearing is in. Oh, it's water rushing. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. All right. That makes sense now. Okay. Yeah, that's like a, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Waterfall, right in the title there. Helps if you read, people. Hey, Doc Flamingo, how you doing? Yeah, so white noise, like air conditioning, waterfalls, it all kind of sounds the same at some point. But so what did I like? So I don't think I need that. So I'm gonna mute that. I'm gonna mute. Oops. No. All right. So okay. All right. I know what I'm doing now. Sorry, I'm like like puzzled by sound sometimes. All right. So let's hear the dialogue.
Man-made or creature-made, I guess.
The cave probably was naturally hewn in some way, but has been well used by things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things, occasionally like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
So, am I smelling any other signs of
All right.
humanoid?
Bats in the distance. I can either do it through this little place it tool here, and what was it? Stairway 2 I liked.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things, occasionally like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
So, am I smelling?
Or I can try my ambisonic sound processor here. Throw that in and give it like maybe a different spot. Let's see. So, about cellar. Let's try cellar.
Naturally hewn in some way, but has been well used by things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things, occasionally like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
So, am I smelling any other signs of humanoid creatures? You know,
Yes,
like
you do smell that you're able to occasionally. After a while, you lose it, but you pick up the blood trail scent,
All right, I kind of like that.
taking you further into the darkness.
Let's try another indigenous cellar. Let's try a corridor.
Naturally hewn in some way, but has been well used by things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things occasionally, like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
so. Am I smelling any other signs of?
So this occlusion knob here is to kind of mimic walls. So I'm thinking walls of the cave to kind of reduce. You see,
Naturally hewn,
it'll cut off some of the highs a little bit.
naturally hewn in some way, but has been well used by things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
Probably was naturally hewn in some way, but has been well used by things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things occasionally, like a chittering or something, or maybe bats in the distance.
So am I smelling any other signs?
All right. So yeah. So I don't need like a ton of that, but I'll just take a bit of that, and I'm gonna. I'm gonna go back to cellar because I think I like that better.
The distance. The distance.
So am I smelling any other signs?
Used by things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things occasionally, like a chittering or something. Used by things that may have lived down here.
Or by something else.
You can hear certain things occasionally,
All
like
right. Okay. So that's a lot of work for a tiny little bit of sound. Sorry. But I just kind of get lost in some of this sometimes. All right. All right. So subtle little thing. I'll go back and edit that a bit later. I'm going to get rid of all of this. Yoink. 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 And yoink. And yoink. Wow, that's a long one. And I'm going to put it in the right area. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So I'm going to align that a little bit and probably fade it in, fade it out. So I'm just going to temp for now. Let's see. Air is kind of boring. Walking. Okay. How about some walking?
Watch and go, brains. Come ahead with me.
Got my shield, my hammer. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna smash this thing in the head if it moves.
Yeah, I will keep my bow drawn and mark towards it as well.
What is it? Who is it?
it is a dead orc.
Night
He
King.
appears to have had a very terrible end, as
All right.
his arms and legs.
Okay, so I've got Krotos Studio running here, and there's like a billion different types of shoes and surfaces in here. Boots Urban has a nice gravel sound to it. Boots Farce is good too. I like it's got dirt and leaves, mud. So a cave, I think, might be a little bit wet. So, all right. So I might use that, and then I've got other shoes in here too. So let's just listen to it. And I'm going to pull this, yeah. Let's just listen to it.
Boy-sized?
Reading magazine.
Human size, you can look it over, I guess. I mean, do you want to look?
I will.
You approach the
tell-
dark figure on
I
the
will
floor.
tell everyone to keep watch and go, brains. Come ahead with me.
Got my shield, my hammer. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna smash this thing in the head if it moves.
Yeah, I will keep my bow drawn and mark towards it as well.
What is it? Who is it?
It is a dead orc.
All right. So I was basically performing it just by just dragging and clicking this puck around here, and I was kind of mixing in between the wet mud sound and the sand sound, and then I just drag it onto the timeline. So, so that was one. So there's two people walking. So I'm going to do two different types of shoes. I can change the pitch too. So
got my shield, my hammer. Like, okay.
With me. With me.
Got my shield, my hammer. Like, okay, I'm gonna smash this thing in the head if it moves.
Yeah, I will keep my bow drawn and mark towards it as well.
What is it? Who is it?
yeah. So I'll grab another one here. Maybe let's see what we got. Not heels. Maybe shoes, sneakers. Sneakers first. Shoes first. I want something with a little bit of wet. There we go. I'm gonna pitch it up a little bit. That's down. The dainty elf feet.
Come ahead with me.
Got my shield, my hammer. Like, okay, I'm gonna smash this thing in the head if it moves.
Yeah, I will keep my bow drawn and mark towards it as well.
What is it? Who is it?
It is a dead orc.
All right.
Night
He
King.
appears to have had a very terrible end, as he's
And just gonna take these two and pan them a little tiny bit. Not, so 22% left and right.
Got my shield, my hammer. Like, okay, I'm gonna smash this thing in the head if it moves.
Yeah, I will keep my bow drawn and mark towards it as well.
What is it? Who is it?
it is a dead orc.
All right. And I may shorten those later, but they're in there and they're done. Good enough.
It is not
Rushing
long to be
water, that's boring. Stepping into water, I could just use where I just was. Maybe take the pitch down a little bit.
But he's able to pick up
Yeah,
the scent and so
yeah.
forth, so he's got a better chance of it. But you look across and you just see, the other
I
side.
just start
in
tying a rope to
darkness.
myself, and I throw the other end at Corgan, and I start going into the water. It's like you guys,
Okay, I do my best to fashion some sort of a pivot so I can help.
All right.
Considering your
Should we
great
go
marrow
back to the?
skills, able to tie the knot, you brace yourself. You're trying to brace yourself, and
What's your
get into
seaman?
the water.
Give him a seamanship roll.
I throw the other end at Corgan, and I start going into the water. It's like you guys,
Okay, I do my best to fashion
All right, that's dumb, but
some sort of a pivot so I can help.
at Corgan, and I start going into the water. It's like you guys,
Okay, I do my best to.
all right, that's some splash. Do I have some splash? I might have some splash sounds in there too. Let's see, water. I'll just type water in. Beach. Let's see. Urban. Okay. Water movement. That's all right. Let's listen to that.
instant fail. Yeah, I know. I failed my bushcraft.
Okay, so you are going to be cold.
Okay.
Okay, and why don't you give me a swimming
Oh, I was
roll
gonna do.
at a bane?
I was gonna do acrobatics or something, right? No.
No, you should have jumped as opposed to jump in. So you need to give me a swimming roll at a bane.
No.
Okay.
I guess we start hauling him back in with
No.
rope.
All right.
Because I believe you threw the rope to Corrigan.
Yeah.
Corrigan, we're going to do a.
No.
Okay.
I guess we start hauling him back in with
No.
rope.
Would you
Alright.
give me a swimming
Oh, I was
roll
gonna do.
at a bane?
I was gonna do acrobatics or something, right? No.
No, you should have jumped if you would,
Oh, shit.
as opposed to jump in. So you need to give me a swimming roll at a bane.
No.
Okay.
I guess we start hauling him back in with
No.
rope.
So what we're going to do is,
All right.
because I believe you threw the rope to Corrigan.
Yeah, that's
Corrigan, we're
kind of
gonna do
dumb,
a
but
open
maybe
give me
I'll.
a swimming
Oh, I was
roll
gonna do.
at a bane.
I was gonna do.
And place it again. Because we're in a cave, so I'm gonna let's try basement first.
Give me a swimming
Oh, I was
roll
gonna do.
at a bane.
I was gonna do acrobatics or something, right? No.
No, you should have jumped if you would,
Oh, shit.
as opposed to jump in. So you need to give me a swimming roll at a bane. And why don't you give me a swimming
Oh, I was
roll
gonna do.
at a bane?
I was gonna do acrobatics or something, right? No.
No, you should have jumped if you would,
Oh, shit.
as opposed to jump in. So you need to give me a swimming roll at a bane.
No.
All right. That's probably good. Let's see what else I got in there.
Okay.
I guess we start hauling him back in with
No.
rope.
So what we're going to do is, because I believe you threw the rope to Corrigan.
Yeah.
Corrigan, we're going to do a open opposed strength roll. So you must roll under your strength, and I must roll under the strength of my number.
Wow.
What did you roll?
I got a 3.
That's,
Ooh,
that's good.
That's good. So
Yeah.
the rope goes taut
That's why I
as he
said
is-
wow.
as he's swept under.
All right, rope goes taut. Ooh. There we go. You got a good rope goes taut sound there.
Good.
That's good. So
Yeah.
the rope goes taut. The rope goes taut.
That's why.
The rope goes taut. The rope goes taut
That's why I
as he
said
is-
wow.
as he's swept.
All right, so it's a good rope sound, but I'm gonna maybe put a little area effect sound on there,
Taut
That's why I
as he
said
is-
wow.
but it doesn't. It kind of gets buried in the voices. So if I was doing audio drama, I would do it like differently. But I'm just gonna do basic compressor on there to hopefully bring it up a little bit. I'm gonna do it before the reverb. All right. Maybe 8-1. And I got audition it.
taut.
That's why.
As goes 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 taut.
All right. That's probably good.
Goes taut.
That's why I
As he
said
is-
wow.
I'm going to back off on the reverb a little bit.
Goes taut.
That's why I
As he
said
is-
wow.
As he's swept under. The rope goes taut. The rope goes taut.
That's why I
As he
said
is-
wow.
As he's swept under the water and almost away.
Oh, so that's good too. I should do something for that. I think I have a dive sound or something. No. All right. All right, I need to find some water sounds. Let's grab that and try that out. Oh, is this stuff I made? Some of the stuff might actually, because I did some water stuff a long time ago that I recorded myself. Alright. Ooh, there we go. So some of these sounds, like I think I recorded this myself actually. This little water bubble thing. Yeah, I think I did that in my bathtub for our sex, drugs, and saving throw series, which is super fun and dumb. If you like fun and dumb stuff. There we go. Let's see. All right. All right. Let's listen to what Malcolm has to say.
That's why I
As he,
said wow.
as he swept under.
Swept under. All right.
As he swept under.
It's a little early.
As he swept under the.
Have a second.
Under the water and almost away.
All right.
Under the water and almost away.
I will clearly help.
And I'm going to cut this here and move this down here to kind of make it a little nice little continuation. Drag it out a little bit.
Under the water and almost away.
I will clearly help. Put him back in.
But having
All right, actually, I'm just gonna copy this. Sweep, beep, 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 beep.
almost away.
I will clearly help. Put him back in.
But having braced yourself.
Oops. Oh, what did I do? All right. Did not mean to do that.
I will clearly help. Put him back in.
But having braced yourself.
I will clearly help. Put him back in.
But having braced yourself properly.
Yeah. This is definitely what I cut. Let me copy this one too. Oops. I am double selecting a lot today. Sorry for being so clumsy.
I will clearly help. Put him back in.
But having braced yourself properly.
All right, so I need to get some splash sounds. So drag me back onto shore. Oh, that's pretty good. That one. Sorry you can't hear these. Ooh. And I'm going to take this little guy here and throw that on there. Yeah, trying to use like the same or similar reverbs when you're adding stuff to the sound so they sound like they're coming from the same place.
I will clearly help pull them back in.
But having braced yourself properly and prepared, you're able to keep it from being swept away and pull.
Excuse me. That was...
Having braced yourself properly and prepared, you're able to keep it from being swept away and pull him out.
Yeah, so...
To keep him from being swept away and pull him out of the water.
Alright.
And pull him out of the water.
That might be too big of a splash there. Okay. I suppose. Alright, let's try this one.
Out of the water. At this time. Out of the water. Out of the water.
And that's probably what I did there. Maybe don't need that.
Out of the water.
That's just too intense.
Out of the water. Out of the water. Out of the water. Water. Out of the water. At this time, your condition him out of the water. Out of the water. At this time, your condition is you are cold.
Alright.
So, is you are cold. At this time, your condition.
Alright.
At this time, your condition is. At this time, your condition. At this time, your condition is you are cold. So.
Alright. Get rid of that. Don't need that anymore.
Out of the water. At this time, your condition is you are cold. So.
Drag. And just a little. Oops. Line those up with these little things here. And bump up a little bit.
Your condition is you are cold.
More.
Your condition is you are cold. So.
And same reverb on them.
At this time, your condition is you are cold. So.
All right, let's listen to that. Man, so yeah, I get lost in the sauce sometimes. I get like distracted by these little dumb scenes that should take like 2 seconds to do, and I like,
Yeah, I know. I failed my bushcraft.
Okay, so you are going to be cold.
Okay.
Okay. And why don't you give me a swimming?
Oh, I was gonna do.
At a bane.
I was going to do acrobatics or something, right? No?
No, you should have jumped if you would,
Oh, shit.
as opposed to jump in. So you need to give me a swimming roll at a Bane.
Nope.
Okay.
I guess we start hauling him back in with the
No.
rope.
So what we're going to do is, because I believe you threw the rope to Corrigan.
Yeah.
Corrigan, we're going to do a open to opposed strength roll. So you must roll under your strength, and I must roll under the strength of my number.
Wow.
What did you roll?
I got a 3.
That's
Ooh, good.
That's, good.
That's good. So
Yeah.
the rope goes taut
That's why I
as he
said
is-
wow.
as he's swept under the water and almost away.
I will clearly help pull him back in.
But having braced yourself properly and prepared, you're able to keep him from being swept away and pull him out of the water. At this time, your condition is you are cold. So,
All right.
gotta see.
I think that's good enough for today. Yeah, I think that's good. I hope this was interesting. Sorry to talk more, but yeah. So that's my process of using kind of a mix of library sounds I've recorded myself, and then Krotos Studio to help make this podcast sound interesting. So if you have questions, leave comments, and I'll try to answer them when I can.